Hi there, welcome to I Lone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aries energy, and we're going to look at it from a couple different perspectives because people harness their Aries energy different. Some people harness high vibe Aries energy. Some people are more motivated and inspired by the world or their own worldly nature of wants and needs or pride or ego or things like that. And some people are downright shadowy. So, listen to your intuition. We all harness some Aries energy. The energy is available for us to move forward in high vibe energy, but, we have to be willing to shed some old ways of being and align with truth and love and justice and fairness. If you listen to this story and you harness high vibe Aries energy, you probably want to be in a relationship with some people who harness high vibe Aries, and some of the people who harness a more worldly focus would rather be in relationships with people who harness a more worldly focus. We all like to hang out with people who seem to be on the same page as we are. So let's go see what's going on in Aries energy. Okay. The underlying reason for the reading is the King of Cups, followed by the Empress and the Moon and the Knight of Wands. We got to keep going. The Eight of Cups, the Emperor, which is Aries energy. We all have growing up to do and all the different traits and characteristics of the zodiac signs because we tap into all of them. We have lessons to learn in our heart to grow up and mature ourselves emotionally. In our worldly nature, there can be things of the world that we were really motivated and inspired by and wanting to indulge in when we were younger. Life's about, are we interested in growing up and maturing ourselves, and growing to our full potential. What kind of Aries person do we want to be in our own life? Do we want to be a true leader in the world where we learn the lessons we were meant to learn, so now we make good decisions in our life? Or are we just kind of letting our fiery nature run our life, and shadowy Aries is all about the self? Is it all about us, our wants, our needs, our lust, our greed, our pride, our ego? We're out of balance, and the fact that it's all about us. And, some people are all about themselves, and they present themselves as like a loving family person to get people to be in a relationship with them and present themselves that way to the world. But emotionally, they might be all about indulgence or money or materialism, and they create an illusion because they're really kind of immature. And they're not willing to walk away and deal with their own fears and insecurities to become more independent in the world, to really be a boss in the world. And so, in order to grow and mature ourselves, just like we did when we were age 15, going to 18, going to 21, going to age 23, we had to let go of some of our more immature ways of being. We needed to grow up. We needed to be willing to face our fears, to believe that we could grow to our full potential at the next level of life. And some people are like, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to walk away from any of the ways of living life that I indulge in. I'm going to keep moving forward that way. And it's going to be, thinking I'm the boss. The only thing is that I think we live in a world that was created. We have free will, but if we aren't willing to grow and mature ourselves and take action in hope and faith and belief and love that we can overcome, we're going to get stuck in like stagnant, non-life-giving energy. I mean, could you imagine going from age 15 to age 18, and then at age 18, you're like, I'm done. No more growing or maturing for me. No, not going to face any more of my fears and insecurities. I'm good right here. And it's like perpetually living life like an 18-year-old. And, and then how do those people act when other people do move forward in life, do face some of their fears and insecurities, tackle some things that some of those people are unwilling to take on and tackle because that's too much. They might fail. It might not work out. Have too much fear about it. Well, then a lot of those people are the people who point at other people and say, oh, well, they think they're so full of themselves and blah, blah, blah. And it's really because that's shadowy energy. If we should kind of like respect and admire people who are more bold and brave and confident than we are. But if we know we're not willing to face our fears and insecurities and step out of our comfort zone, in order to make ourselves feel better, we tear down other people to make it seem like they're not more bold and brave and confident than we are. So, anyway, let's go back to the story. Well, maybe we'll put this up here. We had 2 cards that fell out on the table not showing themselves. And it has to do with what people think is just and fair. Some people don't show the world that they harness these energies in a shadowy way. And because of that, people in their life who harness these energies in a high vibe way aren't in their life anymore. And the people who do harness these energies in a high vibe way, who want justice and fairness and balance and loving relationships, those people cut out the shadowy people out of their life. And that's something some other people aren't willing to do. They know they have shadowy ways of being. They could know they have shadowy people in their life. People who are happy that they don't demand justice and fairness and balance in a relationship. Perfect. Keep indulging me in my pride and my ego and let me manipulate you and let's go be immature and indulgent or whatever together. Perfect. Some people are willing to be a leader in their life, to realize the things that they need to detach from and that it's time to let those things go. And then the people in their life who are, that's fine. They can live their life whatever way they want. But if we want to grow to our full potential, I can't keep indulging in my more immature, indulgent, fearful, codependent, insecure ways of being. And if you want to keep living your life that way, you want me to be that way, then I need to distance myself from you. 3 of Pentacles in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse. Well, high vibe Capricorn is about freeing yourself from your shadow nature. So high vibe people realized, I can't keep working with someone who keeps being enslaved by their own worldly nature. Which, it could have been, I'm more aligned with my philosophy of life that is all about the world, or all about me, or pride, or ego, or stubbornness, or, the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent all those institutions of the world. And some people want to just work with the institutions of the world. Not love, not hope. There is no higher truth or justice to aspire to. It's whatever the world says is just and fair. Well, I guess it depends on who you're hanging out with then. Because we all know there's all sorts of people in the world doing all sorts of things. And we all know if you've ever driven your life off into the ditch and kind of not loving and believing in yourself, that we all thought we were just and fair living our life that way. Some people don't put work and effort into freeing themselves from the more worldly focused way of living life. And some of the high vibe people are like, I need to cut you out of my life because you don't put in work and effort to free yourself from some way of viewing life that you think is just and fair. But what they could think is just and fair is I don't have to put in work and effort to work cooperatively in a relationship or a workplace. Because both the 3 of Pentacles and the Hierophant are earth sign energies. And in high vibe, it would be about putting in work and effort to free yourself from the things that enslave you, to be someone who acts with character and integrity and really walks the talk. And some people are like, I don't want to work together with people. Some people just don't want to be married. Some people don't want to maybe take on more responsibility at a workplace, you know? And other people are seeing the truth of that. You know, you're not putting in work and effort to act with character and integrity. You're not willing to put in work and effort into a relationship. You're not willing to put work and effort into letting go of your more worldly focused nature of shadowy Taurus would be about, I want people to look up to me and admire me like I'm a pillar of society, but yet it's just more of a false persona I present to the world. Libra energy, some people in their Libra energy, they don't have to be a Libra sun sign. Our Libra aspect of self can be like our public politician persona that we put out in the world. Look how just and fair and balanced I am. And we try to present this facade to the world about who we are. So things stay in balance and people are willing to work together with us. But some of the people who are presenting that persona in the world, they hide the fact that they don't want to work cooperatively with people in a relationship. Or they think if they are in a relationship, because they could think they have they're the boss, I guess, talking about Aries energy. I shouldn't have to put in work and effort. Look at me. I have the status and image, or I, have these things of the world that make it look like, anyway, that I have all these things that people could want, like I have justice in the world. I might have status, I might have money, I might be good looking, I might be charming, I might maintain this public persona in the world. If you want the things that I have, I don't think I should have to put in work and effort. And some people are hiding the fact that they kind of want to move forward in relationships, but they don't really want to get married. So they want to indulge. Aries energy is fire energy, which can be about, wanting to indulge yourself sexually. I want the things I want, but I don't want to have to put in the work and effort to be just and fair in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship, but I don't want to commit in the relationship. Let's continue on. And other people who dealt with people like that don't want to work with those people anymore. Some people have already cut those people out of their life. If that's how you view life and what you're motivated and inspired by and what you think is just and fair in a relationship is different than what I'm inspired and motivated by and what I think is just and fair in a relationship. The Seven of Cups can be, we all have illusions about what type of relationships we want to invest in. Some people have these illusions about relationships and they're very immature emotionally. Some of them align with their more emotionally immature, indulgent nature in the world. And they have this illusion like, don't I get in a relationship and, people indulge me like they would indulge a child? That I don't have to put in work and effort. I don't have to be loyal and committed. I don't have to act with character and integrity. Don't you want to be in a relationship with me anyway? Aren't you? I have this illusion about love that you're going to love me regardless. Male or female. And it's like, no. I'm not going to keep indulging you. I wanted to be in a relationship with someone who harnesses high vibe Page of Cups energy. They have that hopeful, believing, loving nature about them. And some people are like, no, I don't let that aspect of myself come out and play in the world. It could get hurt. I align with my more worldly, emotionally immature nature. Because they reject operating like with the foundation that's available to them. They have the free will choice to pick and operate from their more loving, intuitive, hopeful, believing nature. And some people are like, no, I reject that. It could be some people live more from their mind than their heart, because air sign energy of Libra is air sign energy of the mind, represented by the swords in tarot. Some people think, I can get what I want. I can manipulate people to get what I want. I know. I'll make an offer to someone who's emotionally confused and wants to get in a relationship. And I'll present myself as being this just and fair person, and I bet they'll get in a relationship with me. And then I'll be able to indulge in a relationship with them. Other people already left people like that, and they offered love to themselves to work through their own confusion about having dealt with someone like that. Because it's hard, right? It's hard when someone presents themselves as being something they're not, and then you kind of see the truth. I need to cut these people out of my life. These people are emotionally immature and they create illusions in relationships. The other thing is when people aren't being authentic in a relationship and authentically themselves and, loving and giving and nurturing and just authentic, it's kind of like you're in a relationship with someone who let their cardboard cutout persona be in a relationship with you. Their authentic nature, they keep hidden inside just to look through the eyeballs while their fake egoic persona is out in the world living their life. And it's confusing because, again, it's like kind of like living with and being in a relationship with an automaton or something, someone who's mentally calculating and strategizing. Because for some of the people who don't want to do love, it's because they're so afraid of being hurt, and they haven't grown and matured themselves to believe that they can withstand storms in life, and they're very codependent and insecure. And other people could be very bright, and they think, I think I can play this game of life without really having to get my hands dirty or actually get emotionally invested. I think I'm so smart I can just manipulate people to get what I want. But they're still not being authentic. And the Seven of Cups and Scorpio energy can be people who, we're talking about fire sign energy, they'll have intimacy and sex with you, but it kind of seems like it's creating an illusion. And shadowy Scorpio energy can be people who really, there's no depth and substance there. They're kind of emotionally shallow and superficial. And other people want to be in deep, meaningful relationships, where people are letting their more authentic, hopeful nature out in the world to play. That you're with someone that you can truly be yourself with, and they're truly being themselves. And together, you respect each other enough to not act in shadowy ways, to try to be just and fair and listen to love and intuition to guide you, and maybe not letting go in the Three of Pentacles and the Hierophant of these ideas that we could have had in the past of what it meant to be in a relationship, maybe because of relationships we had been in before or the relationships we saw our parents have. We've got to let those things go. If we want to manifest and create our own thing, we got to get out of the dogma of, well, this is right, that's wrong, and well, my folks never did that, and don't we have to do this every Tuesday, and don't we eat that every Thursday, and then don't I say this, and then you say that, and, this is my comfort zone. Some people want to be free of all that worldly bullshit that, how about we're just and fair with each other? How about we treat each other with love and respect? And if one person seems to be confused about something and where things are going, they communicate in love their truth, that I'm not sure where we're going. It's causing me a little emotional confusion, might be causing some anxiety. And we work together with it in love. And there's some people that are not willing to do that, and they never dreamed of ever being in a relationship with anyone like that. And some of them do not want to be in a relationship with anyone who's like that. They like the illusion that they don't ever have to grow up and mature themselves, and that people will indulge them like a parent would indulge a child. And some people think you have a lot. And again, for the people who haven't emotionally grown and matured themselves, they invest very little. But they could want to be in relationships with other people who harness high vibe Aries energy, who are very bold and brave in love. It's like, perfect, I want to go get in a relationship with someone who's really bold and brave to love. Here, I'm going to give you 1 cup Are you caught up in the illusion of who I am, that you're going to get justice and fairness and balance because that's how I present myself? It's probably not going to turn out the way you think. But so long as you believe the illusion of who I am and you keep believing it, you'll keep working with me because you believe that's true until you see the truth. And then you see that I might live more from my mind than my heart, and I invest very little into a relationship emotionally. I kind of just like the illusion. It's good for my ego and my image and my status, and I'm in a relationship. I get to indulge myself like sexually and all that good stuff, but it's really not about love. So then we have the Ace of Cups, the King of Swords, the Hermit, the King of Wands, the Three of Cups, the Six of Wands, the Karma Judgment card. And the reason it came out is because of the King of Cups. You know, when we get in these mismatched relationships where people are trying to present themselves as harnessing the traits and characteristics of the zodiac signs in a high vibe way, I'm not selfish, I'm not greedy, I'm not prideful, I'm not egotistical, I'm not self-centered, I'm not immature, I'm not all about myself, I'm not competitive, I'm not going to compete with you and treat you like someone I have to defeat. Oh, no, no, no. I'm just and fair and balanced. I've healed from past pain and heartbreak. I'm open to love. But they're not. Those would be people in the King of Cups who present themselves as being someone who wants to move forward in like a love and home and family relationship, harnessing, they act like they harness high vibe Cancer energy, but they don't. And they get in relationships with people who do. And the high vibe people are like, oh my gosh, here's this person who seems just and fair, who could have gotten out of some other relationships that they say it was because those people were prideful and egotistical and materialistic or stubborn or whatever. And they want to have a new beginning with me. And the loving people are like, you know, yeah, based on how you present yourself as, you look like someone in the King of Swords Libra energy who seems to be on the same page as me. I harness high vibe Libra energy too. It's just that the other person really doesn't. They just try to make it look like they do. And then as you move forward, the other person is hiding that they made an offer to someone because it made logical, practical sense. This will be good for my ego and my image. The people I did want to be in a relationship, other people who are probably more aligned with living life from their mind and the world in their Capricorn, Taurus energy, that relationship didn't work out, or they didn't want to be in a relationship with me. I couldn't find someone who's kind of on the same page as me. And so I've decided I'm going to offer someone who's loving an emotional beginning. And I'm going to hide the fact that I'm kind of indulging in the relationship in my Aries energy, because maybe the people I did want to work with and have a victory with, who were really more on the same page as me, they called judgment on me for some reason and moved on with someone else. And because I couldn't move forward with a relationship with that person, I'm going to hide that I'm indulging myself in this relationship, and I'm kind of using my emotions manipulatively. It's good for my ego and my image. And I've decided that's how I'm going to live my life. At least until maybe, so long as you're buying into the illusion of who I am and you think I am motivated and inspired by the same things as you are, and so long as you don't require me to see the truth or give birth to anything new and face my fears and insecurities to be more independent in the world and grow up and mature myself, I'll stay in a relationship with you. But if you start to feel emotionally confused in a relationship because you start to see that I'm really not putting in work and effort into the relationship emotionally, I offer very little, that I might be kind of superficial and shallow, And it's kind of like the high vibe people were thinking, but I thought we were going to work together from love, and we were going to get out of some of our fears and insecurities from the King of Wands holding one wand. Oh, I need to turn the camera down. From the King of Wands holding one wand to the Six of Wands, it's meaning that I thought we were going to take action from love to get out of our ego and our past pain and heartbreak and our more emotionally defensive nature to have victory, and that we were going to make a judgment to choose love. So when people who are more motivated by love and to have just and fair and deep, meaningful relationships get in a relationship with someone who tries to present themselves as being that way, but that's really not how they want to live their life, eventually the high vibe people, go within. It's like, why does this person seem to, live more from their mind than their heart? Why aren't they inspired by love? Like, I'm confused. I don't get it. And so, loving people generally put in a lot of work and effort to try to make a relationship work. And they try to inspire the person to get out of their fear or their insecurity or their ego or their more worldly driven nature. And eventually they kind of realize that my dreams aren't going to come into reality with this person. This person who I thought was just and fair and loving and motivated by family and love and justice and fairness and, like higher truth and justice in life. I'm kind of realizing that maybe, it's more about them being indulged and using their emotions manipulatively and operating from their ego and kind of indulging themselves in this relationship. And the high vibe people eventually call judgment on it. And they decide, you know what? I love myself, and I am going to give birth to my dreams. I want to be in relationships with people who don't just present themselves as like a loving, just, and fair, balanced person. Emotionally, I want to be in a relationship with someone who harnesses, we're talking about Aries energy. So in their Aries energy, they also harness high vibe Libra and Taurus energy, where they've put the work and effort in emotionally to be more emotionally balanced within themselves, so they're not tipped into their shadow energy, thinking it's just and fair to be bossy or controlling or manipulative or indulgent or more about themselves, who are really motivated and inspired to be a more emotionally balanced, authentic, loving relationships. And I'm going to listen to my intuition to guide me. And in the Knight of Wands, I'm going to wrap my brain around this game of life, because Knight of Wands is Sagittarius energy, which is about higher learning and education. The moon can talk about things being confusing, because the moon can be like people, again, trying to create this illusion that there's something they're not. And they're really trying to hide the truth so people don't become illuminated to the truth by creating this illusion about who they are. And somebody created an illusion so they could indulge in the things that they wanted in the world, but they were never planning to walk away from this illusion that they have about life or themselves or relationships to really grow up and mature themselves and make decisions that was best for everybody involved in the situation. It was just more about them, their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their pride, their ego. And eventually other people, intuition is telling them, you need to walk away from these people, because these people are creating an illusion. The Eight of Cups walks away from the Seven of Cups. These people are either emotionally immature, have a lot of issues to deal with that they don't want to deal with, are emotionally shallow or superficial, don't really connect in with their emotions and their intuition, lack insight, could live in fantasy land, could be full of themselves, have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. And it works so long as other people keep buying into the illusion of who they are. But when you see that their actions don't match their words, it's like, well, no, I decided to get in a relationship with you. It's kind of like, I'm good. Now everything's supposed to be wonderful. Well, do you speak your truth? Is this just your truth and what you think is just and fair? Or do you adhere to a higher truth and justice? Like, oh no, just me. No, I don't go within to see the truth. Because high vibe Virgo would be going within to see the real truth. That if you're going to be in a relationship and you want other people to temper their ego and not be selfish and greedy and bossy and controlling and manipulative and living more from their mind than their heart and being emotionally shallow and superficial, and you want them to be just and fair and balanced and authentic and loving, well, maybe you should be that way too. It's like, no, never thought about that. This is the way I like it. This is just how I choose to live my life. I was like, okay. So some other people did go within to see the truth that some people live their life like that. And those people decided, I'm inspired by love. This person's, and not being in my ego and my fear and my codependency. And this person is all about themselves and ego and emotionally manipulating people. I'm out of here. Some of you have already done that. Some people are just doing it. And so then it's kind of like we got to work through all of that and kind of transform the energy. So the people who've already gotten out of a relationship like that, you aligned with the higher truth and justice. So you're going to reap what you have sown. And you aren't working with the worldly things of the world. You're working with listening to love and intuition to guide you. And you've cut the people out of your life who are more aligned with their more worldly view of life. And you're maintaining balance within yourself to have a new beginning, because the Seven of Cups comes after the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups can be about, I offered myself love and compassion and forgiveness to heal from the truth that not everybody is on the same page. Some people have a lot of life lessons learned. Some people are immature. They want to stay that way. Some people are very motivated by the world, whatever. They can live their life whatever way they want. I'm going to offer love to the situation because love is what helps us heal, so that I can keep maintaining balance within myself. I offer them love and compassion and forgiveness. Everybody has lessons to learn. They maybe haven't learned that, maybe some of you had already kind of indulged in those things of the world that maybe some of these other people hadn't indulged in. And they're sure that those things of the world are going to make them happy. Or they have a lot of life lessons to learn about realizing that they do have to put in work and effort to act with character and integrity in a relationship if they want people to keep staying in a relationship with them. And some people live in fantasy land. So you're offering love to the whole situation, and you're taking action, letting love and intuition guide you, harnessing high vibe, Cancer energy. And as you're speaking your truth and taking action in truth, again, offering love to the situation, going within to see what, because we can all be naive and gullible in the world, and we don't realize that there's people in the world who do think, I can just go find someone to get in a relationship with me. If they think that, they have things of the world that they think other people will want to be in relationship with them for, and then they, for some reason, think, I can just emotionally manipulate people to get what I want. And I can keep operating from my ego, not being authentic, not being more bold and brave, not dealing with any of my issues. And they just think they can do that. And it was to make you aware that there are people in the world that are quite shadowy and self-indulgent. And they, of course, think it's just unfair to live their life that way. You're no longer one of the people who is caught up in the illusion of people like that. And in the King of Wands, you're also taking action, because the kings in tarot, in how they can be high vibe or low vibe, is we all take action in the world in masculine energy, because people don't know the truth of who we are emotionally. And that's where the feminines in tarot, it can talk about people's emotional state. And you've learned this lesson that not everybody who presents themselves as being one way is authentically that way internally. Some of them are really driven by fear, insecurity, codependency, ego, image, jealousy, revenge. We need to get to know the truth of where people are at emotionally before we really maybe jump into a relationship with them. And you're motivated and inspired to work with people who have gotten out of their ego. And you're speaking your truth, maybe about the lessons that you've learned. And you might be communicating that to other people in the world who you think harness high vibe Aries energy, to tell them, I have learned these lessons. I want to work with people who I think also don't operate from their ego and aren't letting their false persona live their life. I want to be with people who are bold and brave enough to call judgment on their false self, to really take action in love and give birth to something new, where we go into unknown territory, where we're facing our fears and we're dealing and offering love to put in work and effort to the things that we might have kept buried beneath the surface that stops us from taking that action in the world to look at life as an adventure to be lived. What is it that we haven't dealt with that makes us afraid of giving birth to those new things in life? And when we deal with those things and we listen to our intuition, that's when, and we did this work emotionally, that's when we will be able to take action in the world. And the wands can talk about communicating. For some of you, you could have gotten out of one relationship and then you could have communicated to someone else, and that person maybe had to do work within themselves to figure out, and the people you meet as you move forward, and anybody you meet, if they know you're moving forward and you're speaking your truth and you're maintaining balance within yourself, where people can't try to manipulate you and play on your fear and your insecurity and your more immature, indulgent, lustful, greedy, whatever type nature, codependent nature, they know in order to be in a relationship with you, you're being truthful and honest and authentic. And that's what you're offering people who wants to have a new beginning with me, friendship, workplace, romantic, who wants to go on an adventure of love. Done with the manipulation, done with the false facade, done with people indulging themselves. I need someone who's willing to take action in love. And there could be some people who the truth is they'd like to get in a relationship with you, but they kind of hide that, they also harness some of these shadowy viewpoints or ways of viewing relationships. Or they've got in a relationship kind of like that, either where they're indulging someone else out of their own fear, insecurity, codependency, and haven't learned to love themselves, or they're in a relationship with someone who right now is kind of indulging them. And it's like, am I willing to call judgment on how I've presented myself to the world? Am I willing to connect in, put in the work and effort emotionally to get balance within myself, to face my fears and insecurities, to communicate to someone that I'm not going to move forward with the way I had been living my life, where it was more about me, or moving forward with other people who might have those things of the world that I wanted, where it would make me look like a boss, but it's really not my truth, or, that would be one version of life I could live. Some of those people are doing that work within themselves. Some of the people initially might think it's kind of funny. The people who do create an illusion in the world, it is all about like this false mask and how they try to present themselves to people. And for some people, it's so second nature, because that's not, they're not like authentically being themselves in the world. And then when they meet someone who is being authentic in the world, it's just like, wow, they have got a really good false mask. I'm just like, oh, but I'm not wearing a false mask. I'm really authentically being vulnerable and authentic and hopeful and believing in life. And I was like, shit, you're like a rare species. I haven't seen something like you for a long time. And some of those people initially could have called judgment on you, like, nope, I'm moving on. I don't believe you. I think you're wearing a false mask. And, really, they might be projecting or out of their own fear, and they don't realize it. But it's kind of like, well, if my truth is that I do think I view them as someone who I would like to be in a relationship with, why am I not taking action towards them? And they got to work through all this stuff. Do I think they're wearing a false mask? Am I wearing a false mask? If I'm in a relationship, have I kind of been indulging somebody? Have I been indulging in an illusion? Has someone been indulging me in creating an illusion? It can just make people question. And I certainly don't want to confuse people that are in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, listen to your intuition. If the people in your life are being loving and warm and nurturing and supportive, and you love them and you want to keep working with them, then enjoy your life, and keep maintaining balance within yourself. Don't get caught up in your head and your fears and your insecurities. Keep offering love to the situation. Keep having hope and faith and belief. We have no guarantees in life. Who knows when someone's going to be tempted by something and run their life off into the ditch. But if you're happy in the relationship and everything seems good and loving and nurturing and supportive, yeah, keep doing it. Keep encouraging each other to love and believe in yourself. But for the people who aren't maybe in a relationship right now and looking for a new relationship, we have to listen to our intuition about people we meet and people who might want to be in a relationship with us. Sometimes as people from our past, have they really... It's like, I'm no longer doing illusion. Are you doing illusion? Do you think I'm confused? See, there is some people in the world, because either they're so full of themselves or because they're in shadowy energy. And when we're in shadowy energy, like our fear or insecurity or codependency, or full of ourselves, it clouds our judgment and we're not seeing things clearly. And those people could think that you are still confused, and that if they were to reach out to you, that you would want to be in a new relationship with them. And I think, some of you, if any of those people do that, you might talk to them and maintain your balance and being, hate to have people take you out of the character of who you naturally are and who you like to be in the world. And you might be warm and truthful and balanced, and you might inquire to find out what has gone on. Why are you coming back to kind of get in a relationship with me now? And I think if some people see that the people that are coming towards them from their past really have learned lessons and they're willing to speak their truth about the insights that they've learned, that I could have had some growing up to do. I could have had some illusions. I wasn't willing to face some of my fears and insecurities. I could have gotten in a relationship with someone who we get drawn and attracted to people because we have lessons learned from them. If we weren't willing to see and work through it with people who were willing to work with us and be loving and encouraging and supportive, we're probably going to go get in a relationship with someone who comes into our life to try to get us to see the truth in a more painful way. Because loving people want to work with us in love, and the devil comes into our life when we reject that, and we weren't learning the lesson the easy way. Now we got to learn it the hard way. And you might tell some of those people that you got in a relationship like that and you called judgment on someone like that. And because of that situation, you learned how to love yourself and believe in yourself. And you worked on the issues within yourself. And now you're ready to move forward with other people who are more grown and matured. And maybe we're more grown and mature than you had been in the past. And some of those people, if they're in a new relationship, it might make them question their own relationship. And if those people think that they're in a relationship kind of based on illusion, they might want to come back and get in a relationship with you. You just have to be careful because you could be the temptation for someone to act in shadowy energy. And if some of those people move forward in a loving relationship, they certainly shouldn't create an illusion because they want to come indulge in an interlude with you, and then that they're just going to indulge themselves and call judgment on it and try to go back to the people they were in a relationship with. So, the Virgo here might be that, on the King of Swords is, regardless, if you talk to someone or people come talk to you, I think people are really taking time to get clear about what people's truth is. Are they telling the truth? What are they trying to hide? Some people are going to hide that the only reason I'm coming to get in a relationship with you is because the people I was trying to be in a relationship, it didn't work out. Some of the people I went to go get in a relationship with don't put in work and effort in a relationship, but they are the people that are more on the same page as me. But, that didn't work out. So I'll work with someone who's loving, but love really isn't my thing. And I don't want to exchange that foundation for a loving foundation. And, it's just to get to know the truth of who people are. There's some people in the world who would like to maybe be in a relationship with some of you, but they don't want to be in a relationship with you if you're still focused on the past. And until you make these decisions to detach and move forward and really ready to give birth to something new and facing your fears and moving forward, being a boss in the world in your own Aries energy, they're not going to approach you, because who wants to get in a relationship with someone who is like, well, I really am hiding that I'm really focused on the person in my past and I want to be in a different relationship. But if that person ever approaches me, then I'm going to go get back in a relationship with them. People want to make sure that relationship's completely over. And same way with you, if someone you meet or someone from your past comes back in your life, you might want to make sure that they're completely over with that. And maybe, from the 1 cup to the 3 of cups is the 2 of cups of maybe talking and getting to know each other, and until it becomes clear in the 6 of Wands. Again, we have the 1 wand to the 6 of Wands. In that 3 of cups of working together with people emotionally, getting to know them, more about the truth of their underlying foundation. Do they wear a false mask, or are they authentically someone who is being authentic and genuine and loving? We have the 5 of Wands, which is, do they still have inner conflict? Do they have inner conflict in general about giving birth to something new, to detaching from the past, to facing their fears and insecurities? Are they someone who is motivated and inspired by love and acting with character and integrity and justice and fairness? Or are they hiding they're an immature player? And I think the high vibe people are going to listen to their intuition, and the people who they realize are hiding that they're an immature player and they were just coming to people you knew from your past coming back, or people you meet as you move forward, that they want to just come indulge in you because you are loving and nurturing and supportive and stable and grounded, that they were just coming to indulge and then they were going to walk away. It was really all just about them. I think when you get to know them, to find out what's hidden beneath the surface, are they bold and brave and confident to look at life as an adventure? Or are they hiding that they're an immature player? Are they willing to walk away from their illusions that they have about relationships and become a boss and want to grow to their full potential? Or are they people who are in relationships with other people who want them to grow to their full potential? And they're like, I think I'll let you go. I think I have someone else I can go indulge in. I'll just go find someone else. And until they realize I don't want to make decisions that are best for everyone, that it's really just about me, I'll go indulge myself in a relationship. So I think the shadowy people right now, they are people where relationships didn't work out. People weren't willing to indulge them. The people they did want to be in a relationship with, that didn't work out. Some of them might have a new beginning right now, and they think it makes practical, logical sense. They're continuing to hide that it's really just about them, that they emotionally manipulate people. It's good for their ego and image. It helps them present this persona in the world that they're this loving, just, and fair person and maintain this public persona. But emotionally, they're hiding that they're just a player. And when the other person either wants them to grow up and mature themselves or really bring the dream into reality, they're probably going to walk away because it was really just all about them. And I think people that are high vibe are trying to maintain balance within themselves. And they're doing this work within themselves to quit aligning with their more worldly driven nature, to believe in their dreams, and to quit ignoring like their more inner child, youthful, hopeful, believing nature, which is like the spark of life within us, that makes us not like an animal. And in their Aries energy, they have to decide, for some, because we have free will, we have this dualistic nature. Some people have already picked a path. Some people have picked, I'm doing hope and faith and belief and love, and I'm listening to my intuition to guide me. And other people are like, oh my God, no, I let my fear and my insecurity and my pride and my ego and money and indulgence make my decisions. And there's some people right now that are at a point where they have to decide. They could have been, we all grow up in the world. We're all, get indoctrinated by the world that it is more about ego and image and money and blah, 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 blah. We can be a loving person, but we also can be naive and gullible. And so whether people had kind of been in this more, well, don't I kind of get in a relationship and I get to be indulged for some reason? Or did I kind of have illusions about relationships that was kind of more about me than, just and fair? Am I in a relationship that's kind of like someone's manipulating me? More of their pride and ego? Am I kind of in a relationship more because of pride or ego? And the high vibe, some of the high vibe people right now are really trying to decide, do I keep repeating a pattern of the past where I hide the truth? And for those people, some of them are in loving relationships, but they're tempted to indulge in shadowy energy, maybe with some of you. For others, they could be in a relationship that either someone, they might be realizing either they're kind of being manipulated by their ego, or the person they're in a relationship with is manipulated by their ego, but they could love them, so they stay in a relationship with them, blah, blah, blah. And they have an opportunity to be in a relationship with someone that's more aligned with their truth and love. And those people might call judgment on moving forward if they've been moving forward in a shadowy way or kind of with shadowy people. And some people are just doing that work within themselves to decide what is their truth. And do some people, for them to decide, do I think I deserve a just and fair relationship? You know, we got to know our worth and value and believe we deserve it. Okay, tell us what's coming up for the people who harness high vibe Aries energy. What's coming up for them that they might not see coming? The moon in reverse. Meaning whatever has been clouding their judgment, or if someone has been not revealing a truth and creating an illusion, that's going to change. And I think for any of you, if you have just been waiting, wondering if someone that you might have communicated with wanted to be in a relationship with you, you know, we can only wait for so long also. And eventually our intuition's like, it's time to go. You know, people who are on the same path as you would move on the same path as you. And the people who kind of like, well, I don't know. If I don't take action, are you going to keep staying there so like I can keep doing what I'm doing and indulging in what I'm doing? You know, eventually, you know, our intuition tells us it's time to go. Because of the high priestess, which is kind of like our higher self. And also what that could mean is the veil is lifted because people are really connecting in with their emotions and their intuition and like their higher self nature. You know, it's kind of like connecting in with yourself and saying, you know, if I were to look back, if I was, say, you know, well, depending on how old you are, but if I was 70 years old and knew all of life lessons and had all that life experience, and if I were to look back at myself now, or like the advice I would give to like a granddaughter or a grandson, what would I tell them? It's kind of like letting your higher self, especially when we're in a place where it can be emotionally confusing. What advice would we give ourselves? And that's kind of also listening to our higher self of the high priestess, because there's a part of us that wants, in the moon and the 7 of cups, we kind of want to live in the illusion, because then it doesn't require that we go within to gain insight, to look at the things that we really haven't wanted to look at, to see the truth that we really haven't wanted to see about ourselves or about other people in our life. And we kind of like to live in the illusion. But every day we live in illusion is a day that we're not living in like truth and clarity. And I do think our higher self would tell us that. Why would you waste one more day of your life living in illusion when is it one more day that you're really not getting your divine inheritance? And your divine inheritance can only come when you are willing to love and believe in yourself enough to stand in your truth and take action in truth and love, and not out of fear and insecurity and pride or ego or codependency. That's when you can give birth to something new. Look at life as an adventure to be lived. If we stay in the illusion and the fear and the ego, we're never going to create and give birth to all the things emotionally that we could have given birth to if we hadn't stayed in the illusion or the fear. So I think there's just going to be clarity. People are going to have clarity. And the people who you weren't seeing clearly and people who maybe weren't seeing you clearly, I think we're going to see the truth. Admit the truth that, oh, maybe I haven't wanted to see the truth, that the reason some people aren't coming towards me is maybe because they hide the fact that they are more aligned with repeating this old way of living life, and they're not ready to get out of their ego or their fear or to be held accountable for their actions and take action in truth and love. And a lot of people don't want to do things that they'd like to do in life because they'd have to speak their truth. And they'd have to take action and be bold and brave enough to do that. And, you know, people could judge us for that. And some people let what other people would judge them for. I think if we're taking action in truth and love and we're not trying to hurt anybody and we're being honest, you know, I think The people who are going to judge you as a being an awful, rude, or whatever person, they're going to judge you that way no matter what, because it makes them feel better. The people who are more just and fair and balanced would say, we don't know what's going on in everybody's life. And I think that they seem to be coming across as just and fair and loving and authentic. And I might, it's not our business to know what goes on behind everybody's closed doors. We can all try to present a good facade at times. And the people who are more generous of spirit will be more generous of spirit. But some people, especially the people who are very worldly focused, ego focused, image focused, that could be really hard for them, because they could have all their life, their whole sense of worth and value is based and give too much power to the world. My whole sense of worth and value is based on how people perceive me. I can't live my authentic life. People might disagree. And they don't have a strong enough foundation within themselves to be independent. The Eight of Cups is walking away from the illusion to be independent of the world, of their ego. Quit letting the world and your ego manipulate you. Be a true leader in the world who takes action in truth and love, in justice and fairness. And if where you have been is not aligned with your truth or just or fair, I don't even care if you're a shadowy person, you should speak the truth. And the people who don't speak the truth and think, oh, I think I can manipulate everybody to get what I want, it confuses people, because who they present themselves as isn't who doesn't align with the actions that they take. And then people try to figure out, it's like, I thought this person was someone else, but they're not telling the truth. And eventually it backfires on them because people feel manipulated. It's one thing, I guess you get the point. Be truthful and honest. And like I say, the people who are going to judge you negatively, they were just waiting for something to judge you for anyway. It wouldn't have mattered. You could have, I don't know, you get the idea. Tell us about the people who harness some shadowy Aries energy. What do they not see coming? The Page of Cups, the Nine of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, because of the Eight of Pentacles. The people who could be tempted by you or anyone else, if those people are working with loving people who want to work with them and hold on to them and move forward in truth and love to bring a dream into reality, any of those people who are defensive to that, well, those people have some lessons to learn about love. And those people might take some immature action because there's someone else who could have made an offer to work together with them. And for part of it, maybe it could be money. This has the Four of Pentacles. This has the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, well, we really don't have that much money, and I don't really believe that I can manifest it. And, I kind of think maybe I should work with the things of the world and people of the world who got the money. So I'm going to go invest in that person. Well, when we make decisions, not letting love and intuition guide our decisions, and we take action more out of codependency or lust or greed or whatever, it's probably not going to turn out the way we thought, because that's aligning with shadowy energy, which means we could be aligning with some people in the world who are in shadowy energy, and we'll probably get in a relationship with them because we're defensive, and we won't realize we're kind of repeating a pattern of the past. There's something about it we weren't willing to let go of in order to move forward with the other people. But because we have lessons to learn, odds are the people they go reunite with are going to hold back from them and move away from them, because they have lessons to learn about having better boundaries within themselves. The Nine of Wands is Sagittarius energy. They could have given in to their more immature, selfish, greedy, prideful, whatever nature, and the loving people in their life who are in high vibe Capricorn energy, free of their egoic nature, who see the truth that life's about love. Those people are going to see the truth that these people have some mental conflict about taking action in truth and love, and they're going to move on and hold back from them. So the high vibe people that they leave behind are going to move on. And then some of the people, I just think we're drawn and attracted to certain people because we have lessons to learn from them. And if we have some lessons to learn and we're in loving relationships and we don't face our fears, we're probably going to get in a relationship, and those people eventually are going to move away from us because, we needed to learn some lessons that, we can't be immature, selfish, greedy, blah, 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 and expect to have our dreams come into reality. We have to take action in truth and love. Now, the other way, some of the people who have been defensive, who have been working with a loving person, and they're trying to get that person to keep focused on them, to keep putting work into this like shadowy relationship. I'm defensive. I don't want you to go anywhere. But I don't want to reconcile myself with the past and grow and mature myself and see the truth and move forward with you. Well, for some of those people, what they might not see coming is the loving people in their life might say, I'm done. I've tried to love and encourage you to move forward with me, just like other people in their life have probably done that before. And they're going to say, I want to work together with people who want to work together with me in a deep, meaningful relationship and bring my dreams into reality. And you seem to be more focused on the world or being defensive or immature. And you don't seem to ever put in the work to reconcile yourself with the past so that you can learn the lesson you were meant to learn from it, so that you can move forward with me in truth and love. So I'm going to go find the people in the world who have. And I wish you peace. But I'm going to have good boundaries to you because you keep free willingly make the choice not to work together cooperatively with me in love. And so some of the people who are in a relationship right now, the shadowy people, the people in their life, it's like, oh my gosh, I want justice and fairness and balance. It's confusing. I've went within to figure out why they act this way. I try to work together with them and love and encourage them to move forward with me because I would like them to move forward with me in my life. But, we can't keep staying stuck in something where we keep being emotionally confused, and some people refuse to communicate with us. Some people are emotionally cold and detached. Some people are all about ego and image. And we just see that they're driven and motivated by different things, why it's like if you were to look at maybe the stream of life, we live in a dualistic world, we have a dualistic nature. And it's like alternate realities. If I'm in this stream of life where it's love and joy and encouragement and respect, and this one is where people don't quite act like that, it's like living in parallel universes, but we see them out in the world. We see people all the time. Oh, who knows that, those people are abusive and addicted and, because everybody can create an illusion of how their life is in the world, right? And it's kind of like as if there's these things in between the two that periodically it might be like, oh shit, how'd I get over there? And I was like, gosh, I want to go over here. And you're trying to get your other people to come with you, and some people are putting in a lot of work and effort to make sure they do not cross over to the other side, because it does have to do, it's not just a simple thing. If you're a person who likes to be just and fair and loyal and committed and encouraging and loving, for you to become a more bossy, controlling, manipulative, prideful, self-centered, vengeful, ugly person, what would that take for you to become like that? Well, if some of the people in your life kind of have these very fixed ways of being within them, for them to transition over, it takes time. And in tarot, we have the Tower card, which is like a major, just like people hitting rock bottom in drugs or alcohol. Sometimes people, depending on how stubborn we are, you know, sometimes people really got to go to the very edge. Some people fall off the cliff, Some people end up in a complete life of hell, because they're so stubborn and prideful and full of themselves or something. Now, for some of the people who've been in a shadowy kind of relationship, there's always people in our life who are focused on the future, and they're offering love and encouragement to those people. I keep my distance if you're in shadowy energy or in a shadowy relationship, but I'd like to work together with you. But I have good boundaries, and if you don't have good boundaries, then, we're just social acquaintances, But if I'm going to offer you love, and I might offer you resources to help you to make peace with the past and your past pain and heartbreak and your self-limiting beliefs so that you are inspired to have better boundaries within yourself, so that you can reconcile yourself with the past and offer yourself love and compassion and forgiveness for the mistakes you've made, and offer love and compassion and forgiveness to the people of your past. This game of life ain't easy. And some people don't ever get balance within themselves, and they're always out of balance in their fear or their ego or their emotionally defensive nature or self-centered nature. And so that you can hold back from your own more immature worldly nature and other people in your life who are kind of immature, who want you to keep indulging them in a relationship, so you'll believe in yourself and believe in your dreams and see the truth that this is causing you mental conflict. And the truth is what sets you free. Loving yourself is what sets you free. It isn't other people loving you that sets you free. The most important thing is for you to get out of the illusion and see the truth that you're connected like with the divine, and true peace and understanding comes from being balanced within yourself, loving yourself, loving your own inner child nature that wants you to take action in truth and be bold and brave and get in the seat of your life and offer peace to the past, learn the lesson you're meant to learn so you can move forward onto the next level of life and grow and mature yourself and be emotionally fulfilled and happy within yourself, that you're living your truth and not living a life of illusion and staying in denial of the truth. So there you go, Aries energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.